everyone, we are back to learn about our brain, but before we learn something new, we have to review. We're going to go over our three main areas in the brain, and we're also going to review those two words we learned about last time. Our first area, our PFC, that blue area on our brain map. The PFC is short for the prefrontal cortex. It was such a long word, we had to shorten that down. And the prefrontal cortex helps us to make wise choices. Wise means smart, and making smart choices allows us to really think things through before we do. So you're going to repeat after me. I think things through before I do. Your turn. I think things through before I do. Awesome. Our PFC is located right behind our forehead, right there, and it's going to help us to do challenging things and really solve really challenging problems. So repeat after me. PFC. Wise leader of me. All right. Our next area is that green area right there, that hippocampus. Our hippocampus is located deep inside the middle back area of the brain, and it saves all of our memories. It's like a little memory book that we have in our brain. And it has these roads that go back and forth between the hippocampus and the PFC because we always use what we already know to learn new things and to grow our brain. Our hippocampus is located deep inside the middle back area of the brain. So let's all point back there and repeat after me. Hippocampus, memory saver. Okay, and our third area in our brain that we learned about is that amygdala. The amygdala is located right in the middle of the brain, and it acts like a security guard in the brain, and it asks all the information that's coming up to your brain from your five senses. So everything you see, smell, taste, hear, and touch or feel gets up to the brain, and your amygdala stands there like a security guard because it's helping to protect you and stay safe from danger. And it asks all the information, are you safe or are you dangerous? If it's safe information, if it says, oh yeah, this thing that I see is safe, then it's going to send it to the rest of the brain, maybe to our PFC. And if it's not safe information, if like I saw a tarantula crawl across my carpet right now, my brain would go into a lockdown mode because the amygdala would say, oh no, that's dangerous. And it shuts down the rest of the brain in a lockdown mode. That means the air leaves your brain and it goes to your body, to your muscles, into your blood to fight back against the danger, to run to safety. Now, if there was a tarantula in my room, I'd run to safety and freeze up. Sometimes we freeze up and we don't know what to do. But that is our brain trying to protect us because it just wants us to focus on staying safe and getting away from the danger or fighting against it. And our amygdala is about the size of a nut. And it can make it kind of nutty when it goes into that lockdown mode. For example, if I saw that little spider crawl across my little carpet, I would go, ah, and I would totally freak out and run off the video right now. Let's hope that that doesn't happen. Our amygdala is located right inside that middle area of the brain, and we're going to put our hands on top of our head just like this, and you're going to repeat after me. Amygdala, security guard. Okay. Now when our brain is all shaken up from that amygdala, it's like a bottle, and this little bottle is all nice and calm. This is your brain when you are feeling mindful and peaceful and calm. Now mindful is that word that we learned about last time. When we are unmindful, when we are focusing on too many things all at the same time, it causes our brain to shake up and go into a lockdown mode, and it causes this thing called stress. And our brains don't work very well during that time. So that's why it's so important to learn how to breathe and use our breath to get air back in the brain, to turn our brain back on when it's in that lockdown mode. When you're doing your work, it's helpful to just take some mindful breaks here and there. And mindful, remember, is focusing on one thing at a time in a peaceful way. So we're going to put our hands on top of our head the way that we remember that one. We say mindful, your turn. And the opposite of mindful, anybody remember what it was? It's unmindful. So let's put our hands like this and go unmindful, unmindful. That means you're not paying attention to the right things, or you're paying attention to way too much all at the same time. Now, your brain actually has a part that helps you to be mindful. It's made for this. It's made to just focus on one thing at a time and only let the important information through to your brain. Because we live in a world full of many distractions, and your brain actually uses a little bit, only a little bit of energy. In fact, it's less energy than the light bulbs in your refrigerator use. And your brain has to decide, you know what? I can only focus on a little bit of information, so let's only let the important information through to this brain. So it works like a filter, and it actually partners with the amygdala. It's the amygdala's partner in the brain that allows things to go through to the brain. Now, it works like a filter. I have a little sieve or a colander here. You may have seen these things in your parents' kitchens. And this area in your brain, it only allows through, there are holes in this, it only allows through the important information to your brain, and it blocks, it traps the other stuff, which are called distractions. There are tons of distractions around here. Like right now, you might not be looking at that little thing right there, but now you are. That's a door handle. When I was just teaching you about this area in your brain, you weren't looking at that probably, but now you are, because I just made you pay attention to it. The way that this works in the brain, I have a little cup here that has some sugar, and it has some beans in it. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the sugar, which is red, and the beans into this area right here. And we are going to, I have a plate right here that I have wrote PFC on, because that's the area that gets the information that we're paying attention to. And what I'm going to do without making a mess here is I'm going to put the sugar and the beans in the little filter here. And the sugar is going to be the important information, the stuff you're supposed to pay attention to. Maybe the video right now, I'm hoping. And the beans are going to be all the distractions around you, things going on in your house, things going on around you, things maybe like your toes, maybe anything that might be a distraction, basically. So I'm going to put that in there. The way that this area works in your brain, like I said, it works like a filter. It's letting through all the information that is important. And guess what? We only have sugar in the PFC, the sweet stuff, the important information. And look what happened. The beans, they got trapped. Those are the distractions. So your brain works like a filter to only let through the important information, so your brain doesn't explode with lots of information all at the same time. It's just too much for it. And the area in your brain, this area in your brain that traps all that information, has a big long name to it. And it works sort of like a computer. So we're going to say this like a robot. First, I'm going to say the big long set of words in a regular voice, and then I'm going to say it like a robot, and then you're going to repeat after me, okay? So the name of this filter in the brain is called the Reticular Activating System. Okay, that's a big long set of words. I'm going to say it like a robot, and then you're going to repeat. Reticular Activating System. Your turn. Reticular Activating System. All right, very good. The Reticular Activating System is a big long set of words. So just like we did with the Prefrontal Cortex, shortened to PSC, we're just going to shorten Reticular Activating System to reticular starts with letter R, activating starts with letter A, and system starts with letter S. So we're just going to shorten it to the RAS. And the RAS lets through the best, and it trashes the rest. It just gets rid of it like it never even happened around you. So when we try to remember this area in our brain, we're going to hold out our hands just like this, and you're going to repeat after me. RAS, RAS, lets through the best, lets through the best, and trashes the rest, and trashes the rest. We're going to do that one more time. Now when it lets through the best, remember it lets through the best information to your brain, and it trashes the rest information. It doesn't let it through to the brain. The RAS asks collects all the information. Is this important or not? If it's important, it lets it through. It lets it through to the PSC. If it's not important, it gets rid of it. Okay, repeat after me. RAS, lets through the best, and trashes the rest. Trashes the rest. Okay, very good. So that is our area that helps us to pay attention in the brain. It works best when it's only focused on one thing at a time, because all the sugar that went through here, if it's all one important information, your brain's going to get all the information it needs. But if it's a lot of things, it's going to start to put that brain on lockdown. We will review that next time, but I really hope you enjoyed learning how your brain pays attention best. Everyone have a great day.